I'm sorry. Not about this horrible lighting or shaving my head, although I really do regret that. I don't know why I did it. I'm sorry about my previous Roblox games. Today, I'm here to talk to you about a new game I'm releasing soon called Tap Gods, and I'm going to show you an exclusive sneak peek. But first, I wanted to apologize and talk about my previous games because I get a lot of questions all the time. Where did this game go? Why don't you update this game? Yada yada, and I'm here to give you answers. If you're not aware, I've been on Roblox for a long time now doing YouTube, but very early on, I started producing and creating games. I don't have any skills myself, like programming or what is this green screen even doing here? I just did it for the clickbait. I don't even need it. Very early on, I started producing games, and like I said, I don't program or build or anything, but I do have what I like to call a creative mind, and I had an audience that liked certain games, so I wanted to create those games, and I did. Now, the way I did this was a few different ways. I would assemble teams together sometimes I would get an entire team that's already assembled. Sometimes I would find a programmer and then separately find a builder, separately find a modeler. You get the idea. And it would go one of two ways. I would either pay them to then make the game and hand it off to me, or I would let them get a percentage of the game and they just gladly accept that with no upfront payment. And that's how some of my teams worked. Looking back, I know I didn't do everything perfectly because here's what would essentially happen. I would assemble a team and they would either slack off and not be as interested in the project because they're not getting paid before the game's out, they're getting paid after the game's out. So they kind of take their time, and that's when people would wonder, where's this game? Where's this game? It's basically just taking a while. I can't really force the developers to work on it for free. They don't want to finish the game right away because they know they don't get paid till later. I was one of the first YouTubers to start doing this. I made Pokemon Party probably 8 years ago, so one of the first YouTubers to start making games, and I haven't really had any major successes, so clearly I'm doing something wrong, but that's besides the point. This is a game called Tapping Gods that I'm actually remaking now called Tap Gods. I'll get into the new game in a bit. But yeah, this was actually made by a bunch of different people. You can see all the contributors here. One of them is actually DobDev, who literally created Tapping Sim, the new game that's out right now. So that's very interesting. But yeah, here's Tap Gods. Here's a game that I created. And this was probably our most successful one at 30 million visits. Now, of course, I've been a part of games like Claw Machine Simulator here for the RB Battles team, and also the RB Battles Twitch Hub, and of course our RB Battles minigames game. Those are not like my solo games, though. Those are RB Battles, and yes, I'm a part of the RB Battles team, and I helped work on these games. We're strictly talking just about RussoPlays games. So, Wizard Battle Simulator. Certain games that haven't even come out yet, like Pet Snap Simulator. Everybody's wondering about those. And why these games stop getting updates. Sorry, I'm blabbing a bunch. I'm trying to get a lot of points across. But basically, these things happen for a couple different reasons. People need to make money. That's just how it works. And sometimes I don't always have the funds to make games, or the dev group wants to commit to work on the game for free, but then they get a percentage of the game and they get paid after. That is a scary method because the devs have to be really, really committed. And also they need to do other work in the meantime to like make a living. So it doesn't really get games made the quickest. Right here, I have Pet Snap Simulator. This is a game that never came out, and you guys were constantly wondering about it. As you can see, the game is basically finished. I mean, we literally had eggs and snappers made. We had pets made. We had like 6 or 7 pets done. We had a charging station. We had leaderboards. We had ranks. We had expeditions. The problem with this game is we basically made the entire game, and then we determined it wasn't that fun. So we tried to remake it. And then by the time we remade it, the dev team just kind of collapsed. That's not their fault. But basically, like I said, they were just taking a percentage of the game, not being paid up front. So at some point, they determined, okay, listen, we can't get this game out. We need to make a living. We need to go do some other work. So then they would do some other work and work on this game on the side. And eventually, slowly but surely, it just turned into something where they couldn't work on the game at all. And then I was just left with this game that is almost done. Look, there are zones created. Look, Snappy Forest is created. We have this beach area. We have an electric area over there. We have 3 maps, and we just couldn't release the game. So everybody that's been wondering about Pet Snap, That's basically what happened. I can't release the game. I don't have developers, and that's where I'm at. Then that brings us to Tapping Gods. This was a game that I actually did release, and it performed really well, but it came with some issues. No offense to any of the developers at the time, but I didn't know this when I hired them, but they were younger developers, they were newer developers, and they were kind of lacking certain experience. They told me the game could be done in a certain time. I told my audience, and basically the game was not ready when it came out. It had a bunch of bugs. It still performed really well. I think we got like 20,000 concurrent on this game, but there were some issues that arose with the game, and I'm very sorry for that. But I've now since learned to make sure who I'm hiring is going to be able to do the game. And no, again, all of those devs are great, and this was forever ago, so they're definitely older and more skilled now, but there were just some issues that arose, and I basically had to replace the entire team. And when you do that, you basically have to like rewrite some of the code, rebuild some of the maps, and it just got kind of messy at some point, and then the game started to die out. Once a game dies out, especially a simulator on Roblox, it becomes less profitable. Now, it's not all about the money, especially for me. I hardly make money when I make these games. I give percentage away to the developers, and then I use my percentage to put back into the game to pay people to make things. So I hardly really profit off of these games. I just like to make them because I want to make videos on them. That's the whole purpose. I eventually want to make a game that is doing so well on my channel, so well on Roblox, and I can just promote it and constantly play it and do cool things in the game with commands. And that's what some YouTubers are doing now. That's what I've been trying to do forever. Have not succeeded, but I'm still working on it. But yeah, if you haven't seen Tapping Gods, this was the game that we made. It's got taps. I don't even think it works right now. Oh, it does, kind of. It's very not responsive. You can't click anywhere on the screen to click, which is kind of weird. It looks like the buttons do work. It's just a little laggy. Here's the shop. We had some limited pets, you know. And in this game, instead of having double jumps straight up, I wanted to make it unique. So we did jetpacks. So you could basically jetpack your way to different islands, which I thought was really cool. However, I don't think it worked out the exact way I wanted it to, but I kind of liked how you jump off to the side and you could see all these islands in the distance. I really liked that. See, each island had some various eggs, and it had, you know, chests. There was a boss over there. You could go over here, the dinosaur world. Like, it was kind of cool, kind of innovative. So I'm basically just making this video to explain why some of my previous games failed, why they stopped getting updates, and why I'm working on a new game. Basically, a lot of the time it comes down to money. The people on the game need to make a living, and oftentimes I couldn't pay them. I just wanted to make a game, have them on percentage. They could benefit from releasing the game with me, and then it just didn't work out. Games like this just kind of died out and stopped making money, and then the developers couldn't work on it anymore. So how can I work on it if the developers can't? It makes sense. And then comes games like Pet Snap. Sometimes games just don't even get released because, again, the developers need to make a living, so they had to leave my project, and that's totally understandable. Now comes the moment a lot of you are probably waiting for. I'm finally going to show you Tap Gods and the state it's in right now. I'm very excited about it. It has a lot of really cool elements from this game. It has elements from the new Tap Sim that's really popular, and there's also room for comments and suggestions. The game is not out yet. The game is not coming out this month. Maybe next month we're trying for. But I want you guys to leave in the comments what you like about the game, what you don't like about the game, and what I should change. What I should bring from this game. Maybe if there's like a cool thing from this game that you guys really liked and I should bring it over, let me know. But without further ado, let's show you guys Tap Gods currently. Like I said, the game is it's not close to finished, but it kind of is. It's getting there. But just judge it based on what I'm showing you and what it could become. Also, go down below. It'll be linked in the description. You can favorite the game. You can follow the game. You can do whatever, interact with it so that we can get the hype building and going and that you guys know as soon as it's out. So let me show you what we got so far. Here is the main lobby. I really, really like the style, the cartoonized style that our builder made. Really, really cool. Everything here is not permanent. Even the UI, like buttons are pretty much permanent, but a lot of these placements are typical for clicking games, but some of it is going to be moved around. The UI won't work exactly like it does because, you know, we used some references, obviously, but it's not going to work exactly. The auto tapper works. And look at the clicks. I love this little custom tapper we had made. It's like a god hand, and these gems change based on which tapper you currently have unlocked. So that's really cool. There's not much sounds or audio, but you can hear there's a little bit of clicking. And as you can see, the taps go up. You get critical taps. There is pets right here, and look at our custom pet menu. I think this is so cool. It's a little bit more unique. We have our shop, we have our trading, we have the rebirths here, and then we have rebirths, quests, items, profile, and stats. And we also have some template eggs right now. These are not what the eggs are going to look like, but they do look pretty cool. I really like the textures of everything, like the texture of these like machines, like the golden machine and stuff. And this is not lit up yet, but look at this island. I'm going to show you. Look at this island. Let me go ahead and go into free cam. Like, this portal is really, really cool. I love the stylization. I just basically wanted to remake Tapping Gods with influence from previous tapping simulators, clicking games, Tap Simulator that's doing really well, and put my own twist on it and make it look amazing. We also have the index right over here, not popping up yet. We don't have any, UI for it. We have a little spin wheel. I love this spin wheel. And the leaderboards here, which we're going to try and make really, really special and focus on. Over here, we have a little waterfall, maybe a little secret through the waterfall. Not sure what that's going to be yet. Also, there are double jumps, and look at the double jumps. The double jumps are sick. There's an effect for when you drop. Look at the drop effect. Pretty cool. Like, I like the little details. Here's a little merchant stand. Probably will prompt the Robux shop like most games do. And then we have, what's this? This could be something secret. Most likely going to be a trade plaza, but we'll look into it. Look at the rebirth upgrades. I think this is super cool. You can see this menu's already finished. You can buy more double jumps. So there are parts of the games that are working. And then look, straight up, you can see there are clouds and jumps. You can hit that. I love that sound that makes. And you can jump on these various obstacles and make your way to the island. So even though we can take the portal, I don't want to see if I can do the jumps. Let's see. Okay, we can jump on these clouds here. They're pretty see-through, so I kind of want to change them to be a little bit more opaque. Let's jump up. We almost made it. Oh, God. I almost fell. Okay, we made it. So here's the first island. Again, the game is a work in progress, so this is all template stuff right here. These are all temporary. There's going to be replaced with the actual parts and islands, but you guys can see the point. It's programmed already and generated. And then on the islands, we'll have like areas for the rebirth upgrades. We'll have areas for the eggs. And here's an egg right here. And I think there are test eggs, but you can actually hatch eggs. Oh, here's upgrades as well. So there's an upgrades menu and then another trampoline. So pretty cool first island. I like the style. It's not finished, but just wanted to show you guys what we have so far. And you can teleport. Boom. There you go. And we teleported back. I want to see if these eggs work. I know that we do have an egg hatching animation, but I don't think... Yeah, these aren't programmed to work yet, but we do have egg hatching and stuff like that already, so that's already in there. And we have a bunch of pets and things done. So we're just kind of waiting on the rest of these islands to be finished. And then, of course, some major things to be programmed, like the shop, trading, and profile and items and stuff. Like, they're really close to being done. So let me know what you guys think. I really like it. Custom UI, custom builds and models and textures. There's so much we could add to the game. Obviously, we don't want to just remake Tap Sim or any of these other games that came out. I want to use features from other games that you guys really liked, and I want to add new things. Plus, I haven't mentioned this, but there is a cool gods feature that we're going to be adding. And I don't want to give too much away about it, but it's essentially going to be like another pet. You're going to have like pets and then like a god. So you equip the god, it's going to like float around you and give you various boosts and could really tweak your multipliers and gameplay. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea, because the game is called Tap Gods, so I wanted to emphasize the gods feature. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm really hyped on that. Also, I'm going to have commands, so I can give myself, like, I don't know all the commands, but I can give myself a bunch of different things, like taps to show off all the islands and buy everything. And when I have the actual admin console, I'm going to be able to give things away. I'm going to be able to type in global and do admin abuses. So I'll be able to host admin abuse, give away cool things like tokens, gems, pets, and potions and boosts. So I'm excited about that. Of course, if you've played any of my previous games, you know that I have a bunch of pets and I have a bunch of models already created, and we're going to be using some of those, not reusing all of them, but we're going to be using some of them. I don't know why the textures are not loading, so sorry about that, but these are some of the pets we're using. Oh, there they go. These are the pets we're using for the game. They look like Pokemon creatures. We're going to add like cool auras to them. Let me know what you guys think if you really like them. We're going to constantly have new pets to the game too. They're going to change. I don't know why the textures are loading really poorly, but they're not that blurry. See, there they go. Yeah, here are some of the pets. They look so cool. I wanted to make them like Pokemon, but also Roblox style, and they're just like really cool creatures. Maybe they'll even have abilities down the line. I'm not sure, but so far, here's what we got. We got some really cool stuff. And there are so many. Like I said, there's so many made. And I even have like a ton of pets over here from previous games. So we are going to be using a lot of these, making a lot of new ones. We have a lot of eggs already created as well. And we got some of these cool machines for upgrades, diamonds, and things of that nature. We also got hoverboards. I don't think we were going to do that in our game, but yeah, we do have those just in case. Just wanted to show you guys the current progress on the game. It's looking really cool, looking really, I'm really optimistic about it. I'm working with 2 people this time around, people that I've worked with a lot in the past. They're getting a percentage of the game and potentially payment if needed. So I'm making sure that no matter what, those previous mistakes do not happen, and we get this game out in a timely manner, but it works well. And then just releasing it is not enough. Once we release it, I want to make sure that I'm hosting and doing admin abuses 1 to 2 times per week. We're doing weekly updates, just like most of these simulators do. And constantly having cool new updates, listening to community feedback. I'm going to be making a Discord. So in my next video where I talk about this game, I'll probably give you guys a release date and a Discord that we can all join, communicate about the game, give suggestions. But please let me know in the comments your suggestions. Tell me what you guys want to see in the game. Tell me what you are hoping doesn't happen. Tell me what you're hoping happens. Tell me what we should change about the current style and layout and what we can add going forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out the link in the description of the game. Like it, favorite, follow, whatever you can do. And I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.